What's going on, guys? This is Damien from the Lookout and welcome to our review of the newest starter Vegito deck, the best entry point for beginners. If you're someone who's just getting into Dragon Ball Super card game or Masters or however you want to call it, this is the video for you. This is the best starting point right now. But before we begin this video, huge shout out to the Coffee Club, our lovely patrons. These are our $2 and up patrons. They buy us coffee, they keep this machine going, and eventually we will replace the broken table. I promise you, soon. So anyways, guys, if you wish to join the Coffee Club, link to our Patreon is in the description below. And yeah, I think that's about everything. Roll the video! As with all of our videos, let's start with a breakdown. So we're gonna talk about the new starter deck. We're gonna go over what's in the deck, how good is the deck. I'll show you some upgrades and an upgraded deck list for the deck, so if you wish to buy it and upgrade it later, you will have a reference point. Then we'll talk about why is this deck good for beginners, I will grade it, and we will end with a summary. Let's go! Let's start with some basic info. So Final Radiance is the new starter deck from BT22 Critical Blow. The deck contains 50 cards plus 1 leader, 7 cards Z deck, so you get a full Z deck of 7 cards, rules manual, which is amazing for new players, and a play sheet with like all of the zones and stuff, which is also great for new players. The MSRP is $16 or euros. If your store doesn't have this deck and you need to buy it online, I'm posting links to Card Market and TCG Player. Link is in the description below. If you're fully new to the game and you don't know where to buy online, you can go and check it out. Important to know, if you're someone who's coming new to the game and you wish to pick up this product, in Dragon Ball, starter decks never contain playsets of starter deck exclusive cards. So in this game, all starter decks have a couple of starter deck unique cards which you can get only in these decks. You can't open them in packs or anything. And the rest of the deck is reprints. You never get playsets of these new cards. You always get like 2 copies. So to get full playsets, you will need to buy 2 starter decks, or you can buy these cards as singles online. You will still get full playsets of most of the reprints, which is great. So basically, if you wish to have playsets of everything, you need to buy 2 starter decks. Don't go into this thinking that you're gonna get full playset of each card in the deck. Continuing on with basic information, the deck revolves around Vegito cards and the Union Potara skill. It also showcases the Z extra card mechanic in a huge way. So the Z cards mechanic came out in set 18, but now in set 22, in BT22, we got Z extra cards. And this deck heavily revolves around you having your Z extra card, which is amazing to get you introduced into the new mechanic. Some key upgrades for the decks are also from the newest set, which is amazing. If you're just coming into the game, you can buy boosters from the newest set and get your upgrade cards for the deck. That's awesome. And finally, the deck isn't top tier. Even with all of the upgrades, it's not top tier. It's just not. But it is still quite good. It's a very good entry point. It can be a very good deck for locals. And because it's a Vegito Union Potara skill deck, it's probably gonna get some upgrades in the future. Let's briefly talk about new cards. So these new cards are unique to this product. They can't be opened anywhere else. You will get 2 copies of Goku, Vegeta, and Vegito. So 2 copies of each. These are the ones that you have to buy another product, another starter deck to get full playsets. However, you will get more than enough copies of Mai and Trunks. These are Z battle cards. You'll get 3 copies of each, so that is 6. Plus you will get the Z extra card that is 7, because a Z deck can only have 7 cards. So yeah, well, you're not getting full playsets of the newest cards. You are still getting your entire Z deck in a single product. The last new card in the deck is the Z extra card. Now this is the newest mechanic. Final Kamehameha is an amazing card, but you might not be sure how it actually works, especially if you're someone new to the game. Don't worry, we went over all of the rules for Z extra cards in great detail in our rules video, which should pop out on the eye icon over there. If it didn't, because I've never actually used it before, shame on me, go check out the link in the description below. So yeah, now let's move on to reprints. Let's briefly talk about reprints, because you're also getting a whole bunch of reprints. You will get between 2 to 4 copies of these reprinted cards. The ratios are fixed. So some of them you will get as 2 copies, some of them you will get as 4. I know that you'll get like 2 copies of Kai per product, and I think it's 2 copies of support of the Dark Empire in product. I know that you're getting like 4 Vegeta super combos and stuff like that. It's just that I don't know by heart which ones you're getting 2 of and which ones you're getting 4 of, but the ratios are fixed. Just going over them quickly, there are 2 things to say here. First off, you have phenomenal reprints here. They are phenomenal reprints for new players in this product, like a whole bunch of staples. Looking at the entire thing, the second thing is, well, there are some choices here. I mean, I'll talk about this very briefly. For example, you're getting Vegeta True Fighting Spirit and you're getting Goku True Fighting Spirit, but you can't use these ones to Union Potara because they are Xeno versions. That's huge. When you're a new player, you might miss that thing, but unfortunately there are no Gokus and Vegetas in black which aren't Xeno. There's like a very limited amount of them, so I get why they did this, though it can be a bit surprising for new players. The other reprints are pretty fine. You know, you get like the 1-cost Goku who draws you a card. Kai is okay. You get Mira Unison, which isn't really used, but it is still an okay card. And the Skillless Trunks, because like, why not? Anyways, the reprints are very good in this product, and there are some amazing staples. Let's talk about the staples. There are some amazing staples among the reprints, staples that are played in the majority of both meta and casual black decks. Son Goku True Fighting Spirit, phenomenal card. 4 copies of SS Vegeta The Prince Strikes Back. This is the black super combo to play. This is the best super combo in the color. Like, this one is just amazing, and you're getting 4 copies of this one in the deck. Amazing reprint. You're getting 2 copies of Kai, which is great. Rarely any deck ever plays more than 2 copies, so 2 copies more than enough. And then you're getting both support of the Dark Empire, which is the token negate for the deck. Amazing token negate, like the token negate in black. If you're new to the game, these are basically free negates, which also create a token which can then block the second attack. Amazing cards. And finally, Power Burst. Now, Power Burst isn't used in every black deck, but there are some black decks which play Power Burst. So also a great staple. So yeah, there are very good reprints in the deck, and among the reprints, the choices of staples are phenomenal for both returning and new players. Let's say that you bought the deck, you're enjoying it, and now you're thinking, I should probably upgrade this. How do I do it? Don't worry, we are here, we got your back. The deck is highly customizable, and here are some options. First off, there are 2 Vegito cards that you probably need. You really need to take this deck to the next level, and they're both from the newest set, BT22 Critical Blow. They're both rares, so if you open BT22 boosters, you can open these cards. The other 3, Cumber, Goku, and Petrification, are all amazing power-ups for the deck, but they're from older sets. You can't open them anymore, so you will need to buy singles. That is where the links to Card Market and TCG Player, which I've linked in the description below, come in handy to help you find these specific cards for cheapest prices. And if you are wondering what an upgraded Vegito starter deck looks like, here is our deck list. Link is in the description below. You can use it as a reference sheet. This is an example of what an upgraded version of this deck looks like. As you can see, there are a couple of cards which aren't from the set and aren't from the product, but they will really boost your deck. You know, like this Cumber, for example, the 7-drop is from this set, so you can also open that one. But then you have like Dark Broly, which isn't from this set, or Crack in Space Time. So these ones are the ones that you will have to buy singles for. Anyways, I'm just rambling. Link is in the description below. If you wish to upgrade the deck, this is a good example. If you just bought this deck and you wish to learn how to play it, or if you're unsure whether you should buy this deck, you want to see what it can do first, don't worry, we have a very detailed how to play guide. Link is in the description below. Hopefully the eye icon pops it up about now. We went through everything super in depth. You can find your upgrade strategies, you can find synergies, you can find breakdowns of first 3 turns, very detailed breakdowns on how do you play your first 3 turns with this deck, everything over there. But one thing that I need to make very clear, the deck list is outdated and not super useful. So when you're looking at this video and you wish to build this deck, please use the deck list from this video instead the one from the how to play guide, because this one is up to date. The most important question of the video is this deck good for new players? Yes, this deck is likely the best starting point right now for completely new players. How and why? Here's why. So, it's fairly cheap, it's highly customizable, has amazing reprints, great staple choices, and most importantly, it's up to date with all of the new mechanics. It has a Unison, it has Z battle cards, and the Z extra card is heavily featured in this one, and now Z extra cards are the next big thing. Plus, we are getting Z Unisons in 2024, so it's also a good time to learn how Unisons work. Thankfully, you get 4 copies of Mira in this deck. So yeah, this deck basically covers everything. If you're new and you're looking to get into the game and you don't know where to start, buy this deck. This deck is an amazing starting point. Now comes my favorite part of the video, where I actually get to grade the product. So let's just quickly go over some key points here. Does this deck do a good job at introducing new players to the game? Yes. Does it cover relevant mechanics? Yes, it covers the newest Z extra mechanic, it has Z battle cards as well, and it also covers Unisons, which will be important in the next year. So this deck does an amazing job setting up the groundwork for new players. It's highly customizable, and two of its key upgrade pieces come in the current set. So it's great that you can buy boosters from the current set and get direct upgrades for the starter deck. That's always amazing. It's fairly cheap. It's not the competitive starter deck. Even with all of the upgrades, it's not gonna be a meta deck, but it's pretty strong as far as starter decks go. So with all of this in consideration, I'm going to give this starter deck a huge grade of 9 out of 10. Yes, 9 out of 10, and this is coming from someone who's very strict with product grading. I mean, I gave Majin Vegeta 7 out of 10, and Majin Vegeta is one of the best decks in the game, but the starter deck was lacking a lot. Anyways, this starter deck is phenomenal. It's amazing because all of the reprints are amazing. All of them make sense, so you're getting a whole bunch of other Vegitos in the deck which makes sense and which you would like to use if you were upgrading the deck. Upgrades come from this set, which is also great. It does a good job at introducing you not only to the current mechanic but also to the Unisons, which were like from the previous block and will be relevant again in the next year. So this deck does an amazing job at covering the ground rules, the ground mechanics, and it's a great entry point for new players. It's not 10 out of 10 because it's not as competitive as Majin on its own. Like, even if you upgrade it completely, it's just kind of mid-tier deck. So let's say like 9 out of 10 could have been a bit better, but then I don't think that I've ever graded anything 10 out of 10. I need to go back and make sure. So yeah, 9 out of 10. Before we end the video, let's quickly jump into the summary. This is a great starter deck for new players. For both veteran and new players, the deck offers a lot of good reprints. The reprinted staples in this deck are amazing. They are absolutely amazing. The deck is highly customizable and it can be upgraded with cards from the newest set, which is always a plus. Yes, all of the starter decks can usually get upgraded with cards that are in the set, but those cards usually aren't the ones that you want to be playing in those decks. Like, on very, very rare exceptions are they actually good for the deck, and in this deck they're actually amazing. The deck does a great job at introducing new players to the new mechanic and to the old mechanic of Unisons, and overall I highly recommend getting this deck. That's it for the video. Let me know in the comments below, will you buy this starter deck? Will we buy this starter deck? If you have bought this starter deck, are you happy with your purchase? What is your opinion on the starter deck? Starter deck alone. And then we can talk about how good Vegito is actually in the meta game. Anyways guys, let me know in the comments below. I read all of your comments, I try to respond to everything. I love our little community. And guys, while you're here, hit those like and subscribe buttons. We are on our way to 4,000 subs. 4,000 subs. Plus, we have a giveaway for 3,000 subs ongoing right now. It's on the channel. Just go to the videos, you will find it. It's one of the newer ones where you can win a booster box of BT22. Anyways guys, this has been Damien from The Lookout, and I'll see all of you in the next video.